excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm Ben, following every Russian. Pick your coming!
I'm John. I work at Burger King and I got some problems with his bullshit.
I'm Cobra.
It's funny that you both like really shitty movies.
Hello, welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm John,
Ben.
Cobra.
and today we're watching a movie Ben picked called Wrong Turn. Ben?
Just a little movie that no one's ever heard about.
This was...
Part 1 of 6.
This is...
This is had a pretty big cult following.
I would say, yeah, the actors in it were just kind of up and coming at the time. They were bigger.
Dreadful
Who
acting.
the fuck is Alicia Dushku?
She was in Bring It On.
Oh, okay. Great.
I was thinking that you at work there, Cobra, and I said, I used to criticize Jennifer Love Hewitt's acting in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
What are you waiting for?
She looks like an Academy Award-winning actress ever, Eliza Dushku.
Not
Which
even
I'm
her.
sure
the other
back
girl's
then...
terrible, too.
Oh, Manuel Shariki?
Carla or Carly.
Best part of this movie? Jeremy Sisto.
That is false.
Is that the doctor?
No, that's yellow shirt guy.
Oh, he's
He's
awful.
terrible. He's
Love
so
Jeremy
bad.
Sisto. He was great in Clueless.
I hate you.
Are you asking why I
Wait,
picked this?
is that Elton from Clueless?
You fucking know who he is, so don't act like you never
That's
saw
because
him.
Robin says it all the time. That's Elton from Clueless. All I know about that movie is Paul Rudd and Alicia Silverstone were like half brother and sister or something.
They weren't half.
Or like
they were
stepped and they were like getting freaky. Or
They were no longer. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Why did you say?
Fair
Because
enough.
the
No
director
reason.
went to Slippery Rock University.
Oh,
Who?
did he?
Rob Schmidt. The guy
The
that
director of
directed
this?
He attended
Shit.
Slippery Rock University.
Parts of his directing in this I liked. I actually like horror movies when they pull the camera real close to the character, so you really can't see anything on the outside of the frame, which makes it a little bit more like claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were also zooms and shaky cam I didn't like at all.
Did anyone else get the 4 or 5 gritty scenes that you could tell that the camera wasn't the same? And it was for not... like there was one shot of Desmond Harrington just standing there, and it was real gritty. It was like around a rock.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it cut back to clear frame, and I was like, why did they keep...
Was that when
Splicing in,
when
like-
they were crawling down the rocks?
Yeah. There
I
was
even-
one scene where he
I
was...
think-
But there were like 4 or 5 throughout the whole movie
Okay. 'Cause
that were like spliced in there, and me and Rob were trying to figure out why. And we're like, well, maybe that was like the uncut stuff that they kept. But why would they be filming with like a different camera?
I chalked it up that I was like, are they trying to go for like POV, like the rednecks are
The rednecks
watching?
are watching
Yeah,
in
that's
Dirty
what I
Nation.
thought. But then I'm like, well, that's just
I think this might have been
Maybe
better.
their pineal glands were extra big.
All right.
They were
All
sucking
right.
up.
You're gonna hurt Joe Rogan's feelings. He loves that pineal gland. If he saw that movie, he'd be like, never mind.
He's like, once those things start flying out.
I still don't know how Joe Rogan's a thing.
I don't either, but he is.
Because he's cool.
I think this movie, like you brought up that camera work, I think this would have been better if maybe the whole thing had like a gritty feel to it. Because this was like backwoods, but it was polished.
Yeah.
So it didn't make a lot of sense. But
You mean it wasn't Rob Zombie Backwoods?
Rob Zombie backwoods would just be the hillbillies running around being like, fuck your sister! Boo!
But at least we'd get some good slashing kills.
Yeah, yeah. So these people are climbing a cliff. These 2 people are climbing up the side of not even a mountain, just a cliff.
They're repelling.
Oh, is that what it is? I have no idea.
I believe
don't
that's
go
what it's
outside ever.
I just have rock climbers.
Yeah. So, Rich is one of them. He dies. Gets pulled
Wow,
up.
you got
and-
the names.
It's the only one I have.
Is she like screaming?
And she's like, "Ah, where are you, Rich?"
That's the only name you have? They're in the movie for a minute.
I don't
I don't
have
even know
any-
how you got the name. They're in it for exactly.
Because she's like, Rich, 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 and then on the radio it says Rich is dead, and I'm like, oh, so Rich, that was the guy's name.
Oh, okay.
Well, we did see their vehicle later.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I assumed it'd be their vehicle. Well,
So she
vehicles.
she's looking up into the trees, and I have Predator in it with a question mark because it looks like something invisible is moving
Through the trees, yeah.
It's not the last time I
Is
used
it-
the word Predator.
Is it hooping and hollering yet?
A little
3
bit.
fingers.
Yeah.
She
Do you
gets-
know that he's a janitor from Urban Legend? The creepy, weird janitor that happens to be
Oh,
driving
right.
down the road.
that ending scene, holy shit, they're going down one road and another road, and the killer's on the same road as them, and the fucking janitor has... fuck that movie.
I mean, it was
Okay,
bad.
pick urban legend. Oh, you guys already did that.
We did review that one.
Never again. I remember getting up every 10 minutes to, like,
Walk
let my
away.
brain breathe. The intro to this, it reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, the
because-
newspaper clippings.
And pictures of teeth and dolls, broken dolls.
Because you're inbred.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge thing.
You have
What,
strength.
for about 5 years in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, this
where
was the
these
same
types of
intro
movies-
all the time.
Yeah.
Stan Winston Studios on the special
And
effects.
he
though.
produced it too. So they got a little bit of, like,
Money.
professional people.
And that's what I was
working on this.
wondering. How did this guy, this Rob Schmidt guy, get this gig?
So I've been to West Virginia's backcountry, and
No, you go hunting down there.
yeah, these people, Hollywood doesn't know anything about anything when it comes to anything outside of Hollywood.
This guy, though, with one tooth, was the scariest guy
Yeah,
I've
he was
ever seen in my
terrifying.
life. Drinking Pepto-Bismol.
I liked. Oh, did we mention like the one main character? What's his name? He's the doctor.
Chris.
He's trying to get to Charlotte or something. He has PA plates, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. He should know better.
yeah.
He's
It's
a
not
city
like-
boy. He
No,
doesn't know
even if you
backwoods.
live in a city in PA, you've
I don't
been.
even think he is a city boy.
You've been.
He's dressed nice, so they
He's
make
dressed
fun
nice,
of
and the
him.
guy in the car is
Oh,
like,
that-
maybe if you go back to your
that
car,
fix
fix
your
your hair
a few
That
times.
that actually was really fucking funny when he's like, "I tell you
He
what you
just
do
leaves.
first," and he's like, "Or fix your hair," and the guy's just like, "Oh fuck it, I'm out of here." I thought that was funny.
It was good. And the movie at the end was good. When he just goes and rips the sign off
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking gas station.
So he's gonna be one of our characters, and then
Okay, so after he goes to this gas station and finds out there's a dirt road that'll get him around the interstate because it's backed up.
So there's a chemical spill.
Yeah.
Also, who doesn't have a rand McNally map in 2003 in their car?
I probably didn't.
If you were traveling,
But I
you
don't,
would have.
yeah, but I don't travel, so.
They had really clunky GPS.
Yeah,
back
they
then,
did.
So
And I mean, back then,
Hey,
you know,
this guy
no
just
cell
spent
service.
all of his money on his Mustang.
Yeah, I
What do you
know.
want him to do?
that's what I'm saying.
That's
when
ridiculous.
Hollywood tries to put this together, they don't know what people who live in a regular city outside
Do,
of LA
yeah.
do, and they don't know what people in West Virginia do. So this is
They
their
guess.
like,
Yeah, they guess.
yeah, this is their guess.
They're like, West Virginia, that's inbreds. I'm
Yeah.
sure of it.
And people from the city, they don't have maps because they're too high tech. Right? What the fuck? So he's driving down the road, this back road, and sees a dead deer. And I'm like, if you're from Pennsylvania, you've seen dead deer, but he's really fucking
He's-
fascinated
Oh, yeah.
by it.
Yeah, I had that written down too. I think that's what it was. And I was like, wait, he has PA plates. He's never seen a fucking dead deer laying alongside the road.
Yeah, he should have saw
Uh,
Seth on his way there.
Yeah.
One other thing with the gas station guy, Trope. Is he involved? He knows
He
about the
knows
crazy
about it,
shit.
yeah.
He's
Okay.
like the guy from Hills Have Eyes.
Because he's
There's
like,
so much of this.
that
though.
road goes back to the interstate. He's like, you say so.
This is what the Cabin in the Woods riffed on.
Yeah.
This
Yes,
happened
exact-
so many
exactly,
times.
the
Yeah.
exact.
I
I do think, because at the very end, he gets nervous that this guy's
Yeah,
still
he's
alive
coming
and he
back.
goes hiding. So I think he might know that these. Maybe he gets, like, liver sandwiches from the rednecks.
My
Could be.
my other big complaint about this is it didn't feel remote enough for these people to live like this.
There's a cop going down the road.
Down
Yeah.
that. Yeah, exactly.
They live on a really nice section of creek. Are you telling me like people aren't fishing there? Like
Buying property somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Yeah.
I've like I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but I've been there, and the roads are far more remote than that. They could have picked any other
Yeah.
thing. Like there's mountainside roads where there's only one lane that just go for miles. That would have been much better than like this road that people drive on all the time. So they're apparently okay. He wrecks into the back of a car that's parked in the middle of the road.
because he was looking for a CD.
Yeah,
Hope it
With
was a good
broody,
one.
he was gonna throw some broody music.
there is
on.
so much 2000s fart rock in this. Like just oh. He slams into the back of these people who have had their tires flattened by barbed wire, which was apparently purposely put on the road. And this is important because
we see barbed wire later.
not only that, well, they hit the barbed wire and then later they're walking and they see a fire, right? They've come to the conclusion that somebody put that barbed wire there on purpose.
Yeah, why was the fire there?
They see a fire and they're like, hello! And then they find a house not too far from where they wrecked their car.
Yeah,
Probably the person who put the barbed wire there lives
and
there.
started the fire.
And started the fire, and they're still like, hello!
And then they go in.
Then they go
Not even
in
together.
and
But you forgot about the awful banter back and forth between Jeremy Sisto and his
Oh my God, I
girlfriend
hate
first.
Oh, I have there's like this when they're walking down the road, and it's just this weird music that they're playing. Like this, like they're starting to bond this group of people. I mean, the new guy
Yeah.
is getting.
What-
he fits right in.
What
Yeah.
I do like about this movie is that they have 3 girls and 3 guys.
Oh, instead of the one.
Yeah, there's
one-off.
no wheel.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's going to be left out. We've got our pairs. We know what we're going to do. We know who's going to survive.
And the biggest dick dies first.
He's barely in it.
Yeah, exactly, because he's a dick.
Why is he a dick?
He's annoying.
He seems okay to me.
This has the feel.
I
of
think the
slasher
redhead
movies.
girl was worse. She's in there fucking digging through the doctor's things, like
Eating his
checking out what he is.
food.
Stealing people's
Yeah.
bars.
If she just wouldn't open her mouth, she'd be all right.
Yeah, she was fine. But that's another problem with this movie.
She
It's
was
rated
the,
R. Someone should have probably got
Really bit it.
naked.
Yeah.
She
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
was she the one in
What were you saying?
Someone
Done.
should have. The gore could have been.
Amped?
Yeah, oh
Amped.
yeah, it
I
wasn't
feel
as
like.
good as it
Especially
could
with
have.
Stan
Wow, we're
Winston.
not there yet.
We did more like drippy
Hostel's
Lots of
not
blood
out.
flying all over the
and
place.
puddles of it. Yeah, after
Host-
people were.
Hostel
That's
hasn't
right.
come out yet.
Yeah.
We're almost there, where you're gonna get the.
Yeah, but that's like, I feel like Texas Chainsaw was more brutal,
Well, they did.
but
I
they
don't
didn't
know
do.
the
I guess it
sort of
wasn't
the
really
same stuff.
gory.
Yeah.
They more did like
Who knows what the budget?
physical looking, like when a guy gets put on a hook and when his leg gets cut off.
So these 2 annoying people who we don't have names for, the redhead and the other guy.
I know their names.
The other guy wanders off in
Evan?
the woods.
Wait, he's the douche
Yeah.
with his douchey haircut and his douchey
Oh,
glasses.
he is a douche because when he wrecks, the guy
Yeah.
wrecks into him. Everybody's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah,
and he's
he's
like,
like,
"You motherfucker!" I'm like, "Dude, calm down. It's not your car.
It's his girlfriend's car, though.
It's his girlfriend's parents' car.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit?
mom-
What do you mean who gives a shit? She might be in some serious trouble for that.
Good for her. That's her fault, not
Well, it's
his.
the least of her problems.
That's
She's
probably-
about to get Mo murdered in about.
That's
Good,
probably
I don't have to deal with my parents.
that's probably statistically correct though. 1 out of 6 people, if there's a car wreck,
Mm-hmm.
5 would get out and say, "Oh my God, are you all right?" 1 would get out and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So that's probably correct.
Yeah, that's true.
It depends on the situation. I feel like I could go either way with that.
Think about this. Like, you had your car go off the road because it ran over barbed wire, right? How do you immediately know something didn't happen to this fucking guy and that's why he wrecked into you? Something
True.
fucked is going on this road.
He was going way too fast on a gravel road, though.
I don't even think he was going that fast.
It was too fast. You see that explosion when he hit? It was like.
Looked like when Ben Tramer got crushed.
Oh my god, Ben Tramer. What if he still got the worst death ever?
I don't know. The other guy hiding in the bushes.
Ted Hollister.
Hollister. What the fuck was he doing in there?
Probably jacking it.
Why
Evan
is
and Francine.
Alicia
That's the two people.
Dushku, why is she with these people? Where are they taking her?
She
Got dumped by her
later
boyfriend.
she got dumped, and they
To make
just
her feel
said
good.
like, in a couple days they put this together. Like, let's just go camping or something.
Okay.
'Cause she
See,
didn't want to go to the city.
to me, like, this is a definite case of trauma leads to romance because she's known this doctor guy for 8 minutes.
Oh, she's on
and
him.
she's in love.
She's on
Yeah.
him like quick. Plus, he's a doctor. Come on.
No type of love like a Jones.
Annoying glasses guy goes into the woods, disappears. We don't see him again. We just see his ear. And then
Oh yeah, that was the ear scene.
the redhead goes in, finds a shoe too. And the redhead goes in and gets something wrapped around her head.
I think it's
I
barbed
think it's
wire.
barbed wire,
Barbed
like
wire?
garrote.
Yeah, they
garroted.
used it like that and just put it in their mouth.
Are we to the point where the rest of them find the shack and they're inside?
More walking.
There's a lot of walking.
They
Yeah.
finally find the house.
Uh,
We got Deliverance reference here.
come on. You're going into this place.
No way.
You're asking for trouble.
This looks like the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah,
Massacre
and then
house.
when you see
You see
the things that you
BMW
do-
car keys on the coffee table?
at the beginning
Get the
of
fuck out of there.
you know that's there's the
in fact,
Would
holy
you-
shit, this movie is in alike with Hills Have Eyes and Texas Chainsaw so many ways. There's a car graveyard.
Car accident.
Yep, car
To
accident,
strand
car
them.
graveyard. There's collected stuff from the families that died.
all through the place.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just random knives laying around the house.
Wonder if anybody called him out when this came out for like just.
This,
Which came out first? They both came out in 03, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
There's that. We all
Texas
have one
Chainsaw.
idea.
Texas Chainsaw came out in October. Remember, you and I went to see it, Wes. White Gold, which I got a text message from him the other day wanting to know about fishing. He's not dead.
Fishy, fishy, fishies.
Need to get him on a show for like what episode? For his yearly episode that he's contractually obligated to do.
I bet we could do. Oh, you're ripping off. Yeah,
And
it
then
basically is like a
I guess
conglomerate.
Hills Have Eyes is the one that's really doing the ripping off because it came out 3 years later, and it hits the same beats as both of those movies. So.
Yeah, but the original was already out, so.
Yeah, I mean it's like Cannibal Mutants. We can just do that, but do it like Wrong Turn did it.
What?
That's what it feels like.
Is it supposed to be funny at all, this movie?
There's no humor at all.
Like with three like he's
I don't
laughing the whole time.
I
It's
don't.
like,
Yeah, I guess maybe like you're supposed to like the hillbillies laughing, the one laughing, which apparently that's the one that keeps coming back in sequels.
mm-hmm.
Sawtooth, they call him. That's just, that name doesn't even.
Three Fingers is the laughing one. Sawtooth is the one that
It's like got the.
he looks Asian.
He looks like
almost,
the
and
Mortal
white.
Kombat
He's got
2
the-
character.
He got the hair lip thing, I think.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think.
The Mortal Kombat 2 character with the knives.
No idea.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I know Street Fighter.
I know a little Mortal Kombat.
Did you
but-
see? Okay, so this was that a helicopter shot of like the creek in the house and stuff like that?
They had a
Did you
couple
see
of
the
those.
size of this house?
It's huge.
It's like a mansion.
There's the front
From the
end. It goes
outside.
all the way
Yeah.
to the back. So, but it has no back door, so they can't get out. So when the hillbillies get home, they all hide.
Plus, wouldn't this? There's no women. Wouldn't this lineage die out?
Yeah, where are they inbreeding? Like, how are they inbreeding? There's nobody there.
I mean,
There's
are they
probably another
kidnapping?
shack of women across the river or
Are
something.
they keeping the like? I mean, they're killing the girls, so
Yeah,
it's
they're
not
not
like they're taking
impregnating them or
them
anything.
for. You know.
That wouldn't be inbreeding either. So
I
That's
thought
true.
that's what they might be doing with Elijah Dushku because they've killed
Yeah, I
everybody
got that
else, and
too,
again
where-
now they tie somebody up. Why? You've murdered everybody.
Yeah, I was complaining about that too, where I'm like, really gonna kidnap her?
This is the time.
But they kidnapping her to try to bait him to come find her.
But it looked like they had enough food in the fridge for
oh
a
my
long
god,
time.
so many jars of organs.
Where are they buying Tupperware at?
I assume Walgreens.
Do you think a
I hear they
Tupperware?
had great
In West
pricing on-
Virginia, yeah, apparently in West Virginia, since inbreeding is so common, they just go into Walmart and everybody's like,
Nope.
there's a regular person.
Families on vacation.
Bring
At
Tupperware.
picnics. Yep. So they just scoop out their potato
I
salad
guess
and
so. They're just
put a
living off,
liver and
living off
in there.
whatever they catch.
I know that there was a lot of walking, but I have in my notes here that this movie is fucking flying because we're halfway through already.
Yeah.
It's moving. I mean, they're not doing much, but it's moving.
That's the
So-
problem. Yeah, it does go fast, but they're not doing much.
We get a Friday the 13th Part 2 reference with them hiding under the bed or table or whatever the fuck they were hiding under,
Mhm.
and the blood is slowly creeping towards
What
them.
were they hiding under?
I don't know.
Just some random table.
Futon.
And I love how they drop the shotgun shell and
Oh, yeah.
search for it. And
Because when I
Who
drop something,
searches like this?
I know. When I drop something and it rolls under something, I don't look to see where I'm
Right.
reaching. I just
just start putting your hand under there. It could be a spider.
So after everybody falls asleep from chopping up the bodies, 'cause
Yeah,
it's
they-
very tiring.
I was gonna say like a little afternoon nap.
Yeah.
They had to wait in that house for hours
Uh-huh.
before these mongoloids fell asleep.
So then they crawl out and they start running, and they're running through the woods. The rednecks get into their truck, and apparently both places converge on a car cemetery.
Yeah.
What?
I don't.
Why does this guy they don't see him at this point. He's like, I'm just gonna go be a decoy and run.
He gets 10 feet.
And he gets shot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what they shot him with. Looked like a shotgun, but that's a long range to hit
Shot-
somebody
yeah.
that
Yeah.
concentrated.
Luckily, he's a doctor, though. Luckily.
You
They're using
know,
a slug. I don't know.
they make this big deal that he's a doctor. It really doesn't come into play.
Except for his
Except when he
own
ties
injury.
the- Yeah.
Except to,
Right.
but come on, I know how to tie a tourniquet. Like I would think everybody would.
I
You don't
just-
really need to have doctor knowledge.
No, I just
to-
assume it's a tight knot on my leg to stop
Yeah.
the bleeding.
So
I guess I could be a nurse.
when it doesn't work for him, the other guy decides to run the opposite direction, and the rednecks are like, "This is fucking great." They're howling like, "Yeah!"
How did they know they were going to go there?
That's what I just said. I don't know how they converged in the same place. Does this road and the woods only go to this one place?
And like I said, when you see them there, run the opposite way in the woods. They're in a truck. Now they're going to have to chase you on foot.
They're not
also,
going to go through the woods in their truck.
No.
also, when they're in that car cemetery,
Mm.
that's a good like 2 minutes before the rednecks come. and they're standing around looking just like they were looking in the house. Like, what are you doing? Run!
Go! Yeah, you make distance between you and them.
They spent so much time in that house digging through their shit. Like, they went there to get help or use a phone. And they're like looking. Apparently, they're looking for a phone in the fridge. Looking for a phone in the.
The one's got to go to the bathroom though. Like what? That's not the place.
No.
Yeah. Look,
Are you
I need
really
to
gonna sit on the toilet in that?
What in the woods? It's more sanitary. I guarantee it.
So, the three of them get away in a truck, and they're looking for their friend who ran the opposite direction.
Is the redneck laughing effective? It's pretty creepy.
It's weird.
Yeah, but if you have somebody coming after you, killing you, and they're just like
What's
howling at
effective
you
is
and
later
hollering.
on when the dude goes like he's making like Hannibal Lecter sounds with his fucking mouth.
Which one's that?
They're up in the tree,
Oh yeah.
and he's like doing sucking sounds. Ugh.
Yeah, he does that fava beans thing.
You know, never mind. I'll get
Oh,
to
I
it
do
at
have
the
a
end.
name. Scott. Scott gets arrowed.
Aw.
So Scott's the one they're looking for, and they shoot him 3 times
Is
with
that
arrows.
yellow shirt?
So he's done.
So you're saying his name's Scott, huh?
Yeah. So at this point, like, if you can't figure out who's gonna live and who's not, you're dense and have never seen a horror movie.
Oh, they were already talking about their wedding, and I was like, oh, they're dead.
Yeah.
It's as good as talking about them
Exactly.
retiring at the end of the week.
Get married. Ha, no. So,
Roadblock, when they're roadblocked with the truck.
With a tree down, yeah.
Okay, you have a tow truck. There should be a winch.
tie it, pull it.
Tie it,
like
pull
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Alright,
So,
no,
they decide to
tree in
walk
the
some
road.
more. Yeah.
should be a winch, but he's only got 2 winches with him.
Thanks, Bo Weaver.
And one of them's just. Why would you? She starts yelling.
Oh, is that the, yeah, that's the Manuel Shrieky's character. She's really annoying in this movie.
She needs to be
They
more
give her,
upset that her boyfriend's dead, but not shrieking.
Not
She
shrieking,
should be
yeah.
like upset. It
They
just
keep-
doesn't work.
they have to give her a pep talk to continue. That's what I called it here.
She
Yeah.
like gives up. She's like,
Just leave her alone.
yeah,
Fuck it.
fuck you. She's just gonna be a burden the rest of the trip.
Yeah, to put this much time into keeping her going when you know she's gonna die, don't fucking bother. So they find a tower.
What kind of
First
tower?
they see a bear trap and she starts laughing hysterically at it.
Oh, yeah, she did, didn't she? Oof.
What kind of tower is it?
What's that?
Lookout tower.
Again.
Wait. What kind of tower?
It's not a lookout tower. What is it?
Well, you're gonna have to call it something specific for me to get my plug here.
I don't know.
It's a watchtower.
Yeah, they climb up this thing.
They see no roads or no town in any direction.
We see that it's starting to, night is coming.
Mm.
But how dumb are they? They just bust some glow sticks
Oh
open.
my
And
God.
I'm like, really? Really? You have windows in this thing?
Every decision they make is almost bad.
Well, that's not what... Because the hillbillies are walking, but they aren't looking at the tower until that thing goes off. That
Yeah, the radio. They do find a radio and frequency.
That's perfect timing, right?
Well, of course. Wouldn't be a movie if it wasn't.
So they just decide to, because they can't get up, they're going to set the thing on fire. They do get a call off, and I think maybe that's where the cop comes
That's where the
from.
sheriff
Yeah,
comes
because
in,
he's like,
or
you the
cop.
kids from the watchtower?
So,
Before he gets shot in the eye.
they decide to Rambo First Blood this and leap
It works.
onto trees.
Wait.
Now, I contest,
Mhm.
maybe one of them might have survived this. All 3.
I'm gonna tell you which one would not have survived. Eliza Dushku jumps out
She flips.
sideways!
Yeah.
And she lands like on her rib.
Flips and grabs the tree on her way
Your
around the
ribs would
fucking
be
branch.
shattered.
That sounds like, first of all, she'd break every rib on that side of her body and she would flop off that branch and fall on the ground and be dead. Why would you jump sideways? Out of all the places you want to grab a tree branch,
Maybe
I would
she's
think
like,
your
I wish I was
arms.
dead.
No, she's like, I'm taking this one in the ribs.
I do like the treetop chase scene, though. Kind of a...
That's neat.
Yeah. It's
Something
filmed,
different,
It's
too.
filmed, actually, pretty well.
Mhm.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the literal Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner trap of
You
swinging
knew
a
that's
tree
how it was
branch.
gonna
It's
happen,
like,
though.
oh my.
I did like the murder of that girl when the axe
It still
Cut
looks,
ahead.
off the top of the head and
The
the
body
body
falls.
That's
it still
fucking
looked
cool.
good for 2003.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all.
That was the one that I thought, because it was the most iconic, I think, kill in the movie.
Yeah, the CG
And,
there was
I was-
fine. You
I
couldn't
was-
tell it was dark,
Right.
and the body
That's
looked...
another thing.
That's the key. It was dark.
If your effects are bad, darken it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't let us see the terribleness that is on there. Like
That's the one I
Your
thought for
fish.
sure would be cringeworthy now, but it
God
still looks
damn
good.
it.
you're swimming CGI fish.
You know
in
what they
that
look
movie.
like?
Which movie is this?
Yes, or
I think fucking
Oh.
that movie right there ripped off From Beyond a lot.
What movie?
Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Oh yeah, aren't there floaty fish?
Yeah, that's what gets into fucking Freddy and turns him into Freddy.
Don't
He's
you
like, I want it all!
Don't you try
I want
to,
floating fish in my ear.
Yeah.
Don't
Cod
you try-
Daniels, come here.
Don't you try to say that Nightmare on Elm Street
6?
didn't have a good idea until they saw From Beyond, and
I didn't say that at all. I said that particular one, and it isn't a good idea. It's fucking stupid. They hit one of the mutants with a tree branch, knock him off.
Three fingers.
He's fine. They're fine no matter what happens. to
Yeah,
him.
30-foot fall to the
Yeah.
ground.
mm,
Although how about that kid that got tossed in the Mall of America? He's gonna be fine, no brain damage. That's incredible.
Oh, that's right. Somebody threw a kid, didn't
yeah.
they? It wasn't even their kid.
No,
No,
he didn't
just-
even know the person.
Yeah.
he just
He
had
just
it in
grabbed
his
him.
head that he was gonna go toss somebody. That's crazy.
Dave Martinez. Remember Dave Martinez?
Mm-hmm.
He used to always say we used to have these wonderful things called state hospitals. We don't have them anymore. Those people are out there and they're breeding.
Scary.
So now we go to a waterfall.
Sexy waterfall scene. I thought it was coming.
What is
Yeah.
this?
I'm sure that guy. The
Also,
doctor was like, oh, this is great. This
I
is gonna be
have
fun.
Jesse and Chris.
How the fuck they get away so easy? We didn't see them get out of the tree. How did they get away from the rednecks who were right under the tree?
It is a bad transition, for sure.
It's real. It's sharp and it's bad. And it's morning already.
hmm
I think this is where the dialogue. Yeah, this is the worst dialogue in the movie.
When they're talking.
Yeah.
and-
Is this where she's like, they just wanted to make me feel better after I was dumped, and
Yeah, this is where I couldn't hear.
you're a doctor, and
It's bad.
there's
I
a
don't-
waterfall.
I was like, I don't think they're gonna say anything.
I don't think
relevant to
she
the plot,
sounded like
so-
Dr. Phil, but there's a waterfall. You're a doctor.
So the next day, the mutants attack them, and they take
Her.
Elijah Dushku away, and then a cop shows up. So
And he's there for
not long.
a minute.
Yeah, gets shot in the eye.
I like that kill though. The arrow right through the head.
Yeah, that's what you were.
That's the one thing I did remember.
I was watching
from
it at home while I was working, and I was linking you play by play. I think, were you off all week? I
No,
don't think you were there that day that I was linking.
Thursday I was home.
Um,
So he hatches this plot because the mutants steal all the cars that they kill the people from. Okay, yes, you have
Okay.
a question, Cobra.
ooh, I have one next. Go.
Okay.
Okay, rednecks come down to the truck
Mhm.
to investigate,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't find Chris.
Mm-hmm.
How slow was he to get that pistol that was on the side of the cop? You were 5 yards away from it.
And he
The rednecks are up a frickin' hill.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Grab
roll
that.
over, grab it, and wait for them.
My biggest problem is, so redneck comes down, he grabs the policeman, throws him in the back, and he's about to drive away. So Chris
God damn it.
goes under.
Nope.
Have you ever been on backwoods? This guy's back would be fucking crushed
Oh,
by
yeah.
bumps, by
it was
anything.
an SUV.
I know, but no way is he holding.
no.
These
Also-
look under cars. They're not built like they don't have special places
No.
for humans to just hang
Yeah.
on to it.
If you
mean
were holding on,
pulling
you pull
pieces
shit
off.
off.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, the muffs are fucked.
Plus, it's fucking hot.
Oh,
The
yeah.
exhaust and everything. Yeah. Oh man.
I'm questioning his DNA makeup. I think he's got retard strength. Because, yeah, I have that too, where I'm like, no fucking way.
That's just.
like-
I was like, he's gonna climb under on the back hills, the roads, and oh man.
So, well, it works because he gets to the house, and like you said, they have Elijah Dushku tied up.
And
For
one
some
guy's like
reason.
knifing her.
Yeah, but he's
like,
not gonna kill her.
He's
He's
not
just
gonna
messing
kill
with
her.
her. I don't understand it, but so they chop off the sheriff's head because they need more meat, I guess.
Mhm.
I never really understood it. Are they eating them?
Well, they got all
yeah.
that stuff in the fridge. I
The
assume.
fridge was, I think
like a
he
Jeffrey
knew
Dahmer
it
freezer.
was, he knew, like, it was a piece of liver or something.
Liver alone.
Because that was where his doctor experience came in, too. Oh, no. The great doctor, he knew that it was a dead mink.
In not
Oh,
a
yeah.
era. Yeah, whatever.
That led to nothing and meant nothing, and
We used to do those cadavers.
Yeah.
Before you can work on humans, you gotta do animals.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you ever worked on a mink. I'm pretty
No.
sure they're rare and endangered.
no, they're not.
Yeah, he made it sound like every...
Oh, that's a ferret.
Yeah,
Black-eyed ferret.
I worked on a
Ferret.
mink farm, and they murdered them, and then would take their fur.
This is the
I
most,
remember you
And
telling me
I'm
that. That
glad they
boilers?
did, yeah.
this
I'm
is the
glad they
most
did.
bizarre thing. has ever come out of your mouth.
Really?
I worked on
A mink farm in Boyers.
Right down the road from where we work.
Oh, that's the person. Didn't somebody come in and let them all out?
Didn't let them all out. Murdered every single one of them and his dog. I knew the guy and I knew the dog, so it was not cool.
That's
So,
fucked up.
Why did they do that?
Because there was a dispute about money and property. So
Holy shit.
So
Lawyers
murdered.
mafia shit.
Bob's the guy who ran it, and he got the property and a lot of the inheritance from somebody, and it was like his brother-in-law that came there and killed every single mink.
Holy shit. The guy go to jail?
Slit the dog's throat, yeah.
They proved it.
Yeah, it was definitely him. They proved it. And
Who the fuck could slice
The
a dog?
dog-
Like,
that's
cut a
sick.
dog's
the
throat?
dog was
Michael
like
Myers.
16 years old, so that's even more fucked up. Like, it was probably just laying there. It never did anything. It just sat around.
Oh my
That's
God.
horrible. You gotta. That's a special
How
type
you
of
could
fucked
fucking-
up in the head.
See,
You
that
can-
is the kind of, like, redneck bullshit that goes on around this place. We don't have people eating people around here, but we got
Did you,
other
Crazy
shit.
fucking.
did you get close to any of the minks? Did you name any?
Oh god.
What-
Beard goes down.
My first day there, he was showing me them, and I thought they were cute. And I'm like,
Oh, one bit, yeah.
One of them didn't just bite, latched onto my fucking hand. It was tearing. I'm like, get the fuck off me!
My God, what kind of shots did you have to get before working?
Rabies.
The fucking thing bit me, and for the rest of the time there, I just hated the fucking things. They were
Were
awful.
you
I can see
maybe
you
a
being one of those.
co-conspirator in the murdering of these minks?
I would have been fine with it.
I can see you being one
Not
of
the
these.
dog though.
I can see you being one of these classic movie characters who work at one of these places, just carrying around a little shock stick. just
Yeah, and at the end, I get mauled by 1,500 minks. Yeah.
You see John
Well,
talking
the worst
tough
part
to
was
them.
my job was to clean up their shit.
What did you get paid?
Not enough. Minimum wage, I think.
How old were you?
I got paid under the table, though. I was 13, and I did it till I was 16. The thing was,
That's a lot of mink shit.
my parents decided to try and get me to get a job by buying only the food that they liked. And, like, if I liked something, they would go out of their way not to buy it. So, like, if you want your own food, you gotta get a job.
This is great parenting at 13. You're cut off.
So I got a job with I got a job on a farm. That's what I thought it was, a farm. It was a mink farm, and my job was to feed them, mow the grass, get attacked by bees, which happened. And then I had to clean up shit, too. And I did it for 2 years, and on my last day, this was my last day, I was supposed to mow, and I was supposed to haul wheelbarrows full of shit up a ramp into a spreader.
How much do minks poop? A lot.
Well, not a lot, but there's a lot of them, and you only do it once a week. So they would have these things on the bottoms of the cages that would just go into the mud that you couldn't differentiate between shit and mud.
No.
It was disgusting and smelled terrible, and I couldn't get the smell out of my nose for years. It's horrible. So it fucking...
This is a goddamn horror film we
Yeah.
should be talking about.
I would
The
shovel
minks
this...
stink.
I would shovel this shit into this fucking wheelbarrow and wheel it up this ramp into a spreader, and I had to fill the fucking spreader with mink shit.
What'd they do with it?
They would use it in their...
Fertilizer?
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. So...
What did they grow with it?
I don't care. It was... I don't...
John, you want to take
All
some
of
fresh
it was
vegetables
awful.
out?
And then, before I left... So I filled up half the spreader, and I only got paid by spreader full. So I only got half of what I was supposed to get for
What
that.
kind of
Then
child labor laws are they breaking at this place?
I'm
Paid
mowing.
by the spreader full?
I
It's
filled
like
up the
you
tank.
were 13-year-olds working in coal mines in
Yeah.
the early 1900s would get paid by the shovel loads of the buckets
Well,
or something
I was
like
so
that.
happy
Like,
to
what the
have
hell?
any money at all, but at the same time, it wasn't worth it. But the very last thing I did when I was there was I was mowing, and I had just filled the mower up with gas, and I was pushing it, and I went over top of this hole of underground bees, which all of them started
Oh,
shooting
yeah.
out the side, turning around, and coming at me, and I was getting
Oh,
stung like fucking
hornets.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I just got away from the fucking mower. Unfortunately, the fucking thing wouldn't shut off because I couldn't get near it to turn this kill switch. So I couldn't get near it,
kind of
and I'm
mower has-
watching these bees fly out the side and attack the fucking mower just non-stop. And I'm like, I quit.
Just walk away.
I
boy.
had to ride my four-wheeler there from my house to Boyers when I lived in Harrisville. I got on the four-wheeler on home. I never came back. I
Didn't get that
Did
last
that guy ever
pitch.
call you?
He asked my dad, and my dad's like, he's gonna do something else now.
Did you ever get that last paycheck?
No.
What?
No, I didn't.
Fucking bunch of.
I don't care.
I'd go back to that.
With interest, you know what you could that would be now.
That's right.
Wow, that's more horrific than this movie.
There was half a yard mode and half a shitter spreader pool. I want my money.
Yeah, that's right. And I walked away without telling you, and I quit without telling you. Give me my money.
It's no 7B where I work from.
You got rights. As an underage
That's right.
employee at the time.
He drives in after throwing in he lights the door on fire, drives through the
The Freak
house,
Shack, yeah.
hits one of them with a car who's fine, starts throwing Molotov cocktails around, catching the whole place on fire.
Where'd he get these Molotov?
I have no idea.
But here we have Eliza Dushku becoming hero.
Sort of, yeah.
Not sort of.
Oh, yeah,
she
she
saves
does
his life
because-
twice.
Did she
Yeah.
look uncomfortable filming this, like tied down with a? She looked pretty uncomfortable, kind of like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, I mean, she probably read the script and was like, why aren't they killing me? What the fuck is going on here? So she almost gets loose once, and then he gets attacked from behind. Then she gets her other arm loose, and he gets attacked from behind again. And then she shoots one of them with an arrow in the neck, which doesn't. He's fine.
Oh yeah, because automatically the city folk know how to use weapons.
Perfectly.
A bow is much harder
They
to
could
use
have
than a gun.
set up that she had some sort of background.
Skill, yeah, some sort of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she's only, 10, 15 yards away when she shoots him with the arrow,
That's a
but
Puts a
perfect shot.
perfect shot up through the head.
Yeah,
like,
but
Surprised-
it's, yeah, that's
she
what I
didn't
mean. Like
shoot
it's
like him.
there's- yeah,
Like
And that's what I would have said to her. What the fuck are you doing when
First
she
of
hits the
all-
guy with the axe? I'd been like,
I also don't think the poundage pulling back, she would have been able to pull that bow back.
no way.
judging by the rednecks that use it.
Yeah, whoever retards strength.
Exactly.
One line of dialogue would have been fine though if
Mhm.
it was like I grew up in the mountains.
This was just
That's
like
it.
this is just like me in high school.
Yeah.
Archery
I
champ.
was on the archery team.
Their character building to her being able to do this is at the beginning, while all the other ones are arguing.
She found that barbed
She
wire.
found the barbed wire and comes out of the woods with a tank top on and makes it look like she took
She's
charge,
the-
and that was the
When
I
really
guess she can
she's-
shoot a bow
Yeah.
and arrow then.
When really she's the helpless one because she's the one who just got dumped and needed this little vacation to pep her up. Now everyone's dead. Good job, bitch.
This
Live
isn't
with
your
that.
fault. It's your fault.
definitely her fault.
She's like, fuck y'all. I'm gonna have a fucking medical doctor husband and live
Oh,
the rest
yeah.
of my life rich, bitch.
That's it. She didn't really have interest in him until he's like, I'm a doctor, and she's like, oh, are you?
Also,
Wow.
what kind of meth lab was in there that this house blew? Sky.
There were gas cans.
This is.
that
I
he
saw the gas
There was
cans.
a generator somewhere
Yeah.
in there
Yeah,
too.
I
Yes,
saw the
so-
gas cans, and I was like, just shoot him. It's Hollywood. You'll be fine.
Yeah, boom.
This is like almost Friday the 13th Part 7, where the house blowing up.
For no reason.
No, not really.
Ugh.
I could see it burning down, but. Jeez.
It's like the fucking shark in Jaws 4. Jumps out of the water, they hit it with the fucking end of the boat, kaboom. Alright, so they get out of there after blowing up the house.
They take the tow truck again.
Yeah, they take the tow truck to the guy in the gas station who's freaking out.
Yeah, he's
One,
boarding
two.
up.
I think he's shocked that somebody survived more than anything.
I do too.
Also, it was a weird scene to go back for this map on the wall.
Yeah, you already knew the route going out. It's not like you needed it, but I think it was just for. Oh, I beat him.
Are you telling me that every single person that got abducted by these people stopped at this gas station and read that map and said, that dotted line, let's take that?
Dotted line, what is that?
No, because the
I
only
think
reason
most
they're
people
doing
would
that
be
is
like,
because there
no.
was a chemical spill on the road.
Yeah,
That's
most
the reason
people
it
who
was
saw
backed
that
up.
would be like, I'm not going on that road.
This is a
Bear
lesson.
Mountain Road
Just-
is a common road there in West Virginia. They're all like that.
I thought you were going to say, like, every road is called Bear Mountain.
Yeah, everything there is Bear Mountain Road.
Lesson learned, kids. Stay on the road during an accident. It might seem like it's taken forever, but
But honestly, that road wasn't as dirt road as they were describing it. Like,
no, I just don't think you could get off the highway. I mean, usually you can take a road that follows the highway and get back on
Through
the
a
next
town.
exit or something.
Yeah.
Like it's. I don't think you could get this lost getting off the highway.
no.
You wouldn't think so.
And it's not remote because there's a post-credit murder. Did you guys see that?
Again, this is. I feel like I believe this one came out first, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre did a lot of these movies did this at the end, where also they sent one cop
Mm-hmm.
to investigate the disappearance of a cop.
The entire department would be fucking crawling all over
Yeah.
the place there.
Yeah, it's come on.
But there is a cop there, and that tells me that this place is not remote. So,
Because they know where this place is at.
yeah, they go right there. So maybe they're covering it up, but I don't care.
No.
I'm not going to dig too deep into it.
No.
Oh boy.
And we cut to credits with more 2000s fart rock, which sounds like
Yeah.
sounds like a Bush ripoff or something. So, all right. Since Ben picked it, Cobra, go first. What'd you give it?
I gave this movie a 4.5. It's okay. It's right there in the mediocre movies for me. It's not long. That's good. It's got a couple good effects, but it really just is for people walking and hiding out in the house and getting picked off. You know who's gonna survive. I don't like the redneck stuff as much as you do, but I would say it's worth a watch, but I just can't give it a 5 because I gave Darkness Falls a 5, and I think Darkness Falls
my
is slightly
God.
better than this. So that's where I stand.
Well, I guess I need to give it higher than Darkness Falls.
Yeah.
You only gave Darkness Falls like a 2 or
Oh, then it
something.
wouldn't be that difficult.
3.5.
I'll give
Much
it a-
better than Darkness.
I'll give it a 5 because it's an effective horror movie from the time period. You are right. It's a bunch of people walking, making bad decisions, and predictably getting picked off one by one. There's not... Thank you. It's not overly complicated. We don't have to learn the backstories of the rednecks or anything like that. They're not like, you dropped your bombs, boom, like fucking Hills Have Eyes. And, you know, I know there's 6 of them, so at some point I'm sure they do go back and investigate where these fucking people came from. But for the most part, it's real simple. Mutants in the woods killing kids. So, yeah, it's average. It's a 5. All right, Ben.
Before I give my score, I will tell you they're kind of related to this concept of people going missing in the woods and that kind of stuff. There's a series of books out there. They're called Missing 411.
I love them. Yep.
Oh,
They're fucking crazy.
yeah, and this totally reminds me of this. And I'm fascinated by the stories that are reported in this Missing 411.
Mhm.
The concept, or Missing 411 is
David Paulides.
yeah, David Paulides. He's this guy who he used to be like a detective or something with police, and I don't know how he got into it. Somebody,
I do, but I'll let you finish.
yeah. Anyways, he started investigating people going missing in like national parks around the United States and stuff, and the stories of how these people go missing and sometimes how they're found. Sometimes they're found alive. And
Some of them are found up the sides of...
yeah, some bodies are found
mountains.
like years later, and like their clothes are
Inside out.
their clothes are inside out or folded neatly beside them. Sometimes bodies are found up on like cliff sides of
stuffed
cliffs
into
that,
like holes.
yeah, and that's not just like adults. Like these are sometimes like 4-year-olds or that couldn't possibly have climbed to these areas and stuff like that. And I think the most horrifying story is like in the 60s. A little boy went missing. I think he was about 3 years old.
Was he the one playing hide and seek?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
a trail, and the parents were right there, and the kids were running up ahead, and then they would hide and jump out and try to, as kids do. And the one kid, I think he was like 3 or 4, wasn't any older. He wasn't there, and they immediately started calling for him. So I mean, it was a couple minutes. Like the kid couldn't have gone far, and they never found him, right? Or they found his body years later.
No, they never found his body. They brought the FBI in. The fucking
Yeah,
people
there
were
were
coming in with weapons. And
Yeah,
shit,
there were special forces because it was in the backwoods in North
which
Carolina.
is never. It's not normal.
But
Somebody saw something.
miles away, there was another family hiking on a trail, and they heard this ruckus coming up from the hillside, and they looked up thinking, I don't know, bear, deer, or something running through the woods, and then
Someone
heard,
had
like,
something thrown over his shoulder.
with like it was red, and the little boy that went missing had a red jacket.
Yep.
And but it very much sounded like these like hillbillies that just live out
Inbred
and they,
mutants.
yeah,
and
they
kids.
like just kidnap people. So I kind of relate that to this movie. Like people do go missing, and you kind of just wonder like, are there people like this out in the woods? I'm not saying mutant hillbillies, but are there wild people?
Could be.
Clans of people.
I know a lot of wild people.
So, anyways, check out Missing 401 if you like this kind of stuff.
What'd you give it?
I haven't given it anything yet. I was comparing it to this thing in real life called Missing 411 about people who go missing in state parks and woods and stuff like that. But acting is dreadful in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that. I mean, the one character I said was like a dick or a douche, but he wasn't even that bad. And I did like that they didn't have that character, the one who's just a dick.
It's typical
For being
slasher
like
rules. You set up an asshole and you
Yeah.
get him out of there.
Probably not in 2 minutes, but
Yeah.
A lot of pacing issues. It was a lot slower than I thought, but like you said, John, it still felt like it
moved,
flew.
yeah.
But it's not the best by any means from this era, but it's still not bad. I can only imagine the sequels just go drastically downhill.
Henry Rollins is in one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
Doug Bradley is in one.
But I mean, 6,
Yeah, okay.
something to throw on, kind of laugh at.
Even my wife has seen this before, and she remembered it. She was like, "Oh yeah, rednecks, right? They're murdering people."
Telling
I'm
you,
like,
it was
well,
a
that
big,
could be anything.
It was a big movie back then. But so yeah, 6 out of 10. It's entertaining.
Okie doke. If you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/horrorcasting, horrorcastings@gmail.com. We still have the meme challenge, so nobody has given any.
Wow.
Come on, guys.
Doesn't
and
it?
I
One.
definitely still need 2 for listener request month.
Yeah, we only have 2 requests for listener request month. This won't come out for a month, but it won't matter because you people need to fucking do something. People are terrible.
Don't make us do all the work, people.
Yeah,
Fuck you, people.
yeah. And also, we're on
That'll get 'em.
Podbean. Yeah, so check us out there. And fuck you. And we're also on YouTube. I think that's everything. So,
Thrill me.